Eric Mother, Mother.com, in response to the question on what to trade in terms of ETFs that could move higher if gold does pull back. The obvious candidate for me is DZZ, clearly because if you take a look at the other ETFs, for example, if you take a look at JDST, which is 3 times, you can see that this is just very unpredictable. 3 times bearish ETF. This is just so hard to predict. And also the other one that is seemingly trying to move higher is NGT, and whoa, Nugget, NUGT, excuse me for that. Whoops, typed in the wrong thing. Alright, so here we have it. Actually, this is the bull ETF. Let me find the exact opposite. And of course it is DUST. And again here, even if this was to move higher, and it could move higher if gold drops, it's just very unpredictable action here. Very unpredictable. In fact, while I'm here, let me go back to the long-term monthly chart and go back a little bit. There was a couple years back when we played this perfectly. Just want to show you that before we continue here. And we played this breakout here perfectly, this move, as the stock moved to fresh all-time highs. More importantly, it jumped here above 61.8 for the first time ever. And also at the time the MACDs were moving to fresh highs. We're talking about this period here. It's always good to go back and look at what moved instruments, because in the current market environment, that is exactly what we should be looking for. Always be on the lookout for these types of behavior. So the minimum requirement was met here in early 2013, and of course we can see that the ETF went on a major run. So we're talking about this breakout here, which we were lucky back in the day to have timed that perfectly based on minimum requirements, and we had occasion to take part of this great move. Now the ETF that I was talking about is obviously, to me, that is a little bit more stable, is DZZ, because it's 2 times. And couple of observations here. Keep in mind that this is a follow-up to the previous analysis on the sector. So especially like today's analysis does go into why I think gold is gonna pull back. So this is a follow-through, not just a unique look at one instrument by itself. So here we are seeing double bottom support and the stock holding above 30.9. I think that's a good support. Generally suggests that the stock is starting to improve, or the ETF. Also take a look at the fact that recently we saw a slight lower low on the weekly closing basis and a slight improvement on the lows for the weekly RSI. So I think here we start seeing signs that this is actually where it might start rebounding. And of course, as of right now, we are seeing it move up about 3-4% for the week. Now I want to show you why I think this is actually legit, and it's a simple analysis. We go back to this entry here off the lows of 2012, and we can see that this is, we track down where the movement began. So we just track down where the movement began, and we see that this is where it moved above this level. We draw a line from there, and we can see that it previously bounced on this line with uniform action for the lows there. Now we are coming back and testing the same level, and this time we seem to be showing double bottom support. And the only thing we can do after seeing this is just to take the trade, ask questions later. Now if you can make a 10, 20, 30% gain on this type of a setup, you're good. Is the stock gonna go to fresh highs? I don't know. But all we know for now is that it is coming and showing support where it needs to, and that's the only thing we can do, is act on that support. One can also say that there's some type of lows here that the stock or the ETF has been holding successfully. We can see support here, and again at the lows of last 2 weeks or so. but I'm not very interested in the price action. I'm more interested in the monthly chart and the weekly chart, RSI behavior, even the daily. But let's take a look at the monthly, because the monthly also does give us a little bit of information as to what's going on. So this here we can see this is the all data. Let me go back about 9 years, so just bear with me one more minute and I should be done here. And what we see here is take this breakout short term. Maybe I should draw it a little bit lower so you can see that it is coming back to test that. So this corresponds with this movement here in 2013, which is off this level, and we had a spike in the stock. It doesn't seem like much, but it actually did have a nice run here, and we are coming back as close as we can. We held here for the lows there. We can even see that this here was support during this period, and again here beginning of 2015 for the lows there on a monthly basis. And now we are seeing evidence that this green line could again become support. All I'm trying to say is, if somebody wanted to take a bet that this instrument moves higher, this is what you'd like to see, and maybe it goes on to have a good move higher, maybe not. But all you can do for now is act on what you see, ask questions later. So you get in there with a 5% stop, see what happens. Eric Muadh@muadh.com. Good luck, peace, and blessings. ESC.